I'm here with JP Rangaswami.
Hi.
Is that pronounced right?
It's very good.
And you work at Salesforce. You've been talking here on stage at Disruptive Change.
Yep.
And would you elaborate a little bit on your definition of the new enterprise?
Sure. I think the most important element is that the enterprise of old ended at the boundary of the firm, and we've never really learned how to deal with our supply chain and with our customers. The old enterprise structures were about systems of record, right? The things that were the books and records of the firm, and you built them like they were Fort Knox, very hard to get into. So access was difficult, security was very high, and the design and development processes had those principles. The modern firm, on the other hand, is all about systems of engagement, because engaging with your customer has become the most important thing. Right? Because the customer is the scarcity. They have so much choice and so much freedom to move. As a result of that, what we've had to do is redefine what an enterprise looks like to become the social enterprise, where the system of engagement sits alongside the system of record, so it is possible for you to actually have conversations with your customer. Why is this important? Well, it's because the customer has already gone into the social network to have his conversations. Okay? She is already there. It is September 2009 when the number of messages in social networks exceeded the number of messages in email. Okay? Nearly 2 years ago.
Yep.
So the genie has escaped from the bottle. The customer is in the social networks. And now we need social enterprises that connect with those customers in order to move into the new world.
You talked about social objects and how you can connect your customers through social objects. Would you tell us a little bit about, yeah.
I mean, what Yuri Angstrom and some guys actually came up with in 2004, 2005 was understanding that the talking points that used to be in human social action now had a digital equivalent, which was fascinating because it would be like a Rolling Stone gathering moss. If I shared a photograph, I could find out who saw it, people could comment on it, people could forward it, people could share it around. And that increased the conversation. And that was important because actually all markets are conversations, as the Clue Train guys said. So you have the relationship form and the conversation before the transaction. And what the social object does is to help build the relationships, help accentuate the conversations in order that people can do better business, because without the relationship and the conversations, you don't have the transaction.
You said that Facebook is nothing more than a telecom. Is that how you said it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Facebook is the new telco, because if you look at what it is and people are scared of social networks, particularly in business, it's like being scared of the telephone. You can decompose a social network to saying it has a directory of people, it has ways of grouping those people to reduce the costs of finding them, it has ways of people talking to each other, it has ways of people scheduling events with each other, and it has a feed of the changes, because you must know what things have changed, who's in which department, who's in what relationship, who's at what address, in order that everything else works smoothly.
What do you think that means for companies to look at Facebook, for example, like that?
Well, my boss Mark Benioff used to say that the original Salesforce was designed to answer the question, why was an enterprise software like Amazon? But 3-4 years ago, the question changed. Why isn't all enterprise software like Facebook? Right? What I see and what we see is that if 700 million people and growing at, 10 million a day, at least 1 million a day, are being trained on how to use these services, then a smart company would make sure its services were usable by the people who are already trained to use a particular way and shape of doing things. So I think don't be scared of social networks, because they're nothing. That's like being scared of a telephone. This is the 21st century telephone. Yes, it has more people and more connections, but that should be good news, because you have more people you can reach. The access and the distribution that the web gives you is there to be exploited.
Thank you, Jay.
I hope that helped. Nice to see you.
Thank you.